Announcement: Travel series will be postponed until January or until a travel bubble opens. In the meantime, enjoy this prequel as well as the digital tool series, which will be coming in the upcoming weeks. And I think you know what I mean because you can't really travel anywhere overseas, so might as well just postpone that and post other stuff first. Hello everyone, welcome back to Alkaline Hydroxide 784. Today we will be talking about traveling within Singapore. Yeah, that wasn't much of a twist to it, was there? Now you might be wondering why in the world do I need a video telling me how to travel in my own country? Well, this isn't about the traveling itself because I'm pretty sure everyone here is very familiar with the MRT system and the bus system and using Google Maps, so that's not an issue, but rather a planning your day kind of thing. So like how you should plan or what you should consider when planning your activities. Hence, this is appropriately the prequel to the actual series because the actual series will cover this in much, much greater depth. And that would be because you need to actually do some prior research if you're going somewhere. Here, you already know a lot of the information, so you may not need to do as much research as to certain things and the timings and all that. You can just do a very quick search and you're done. Whereas for other countries, you may not even know what that place looks like or how to even go around. So you would need more research and more detailed planning in that sense. Yeah, so let's get right into it. So this is made of two parts, like the video in general, you see two parts. The first part is the planning and the second part is the actual day. So in terms of the planning, the easiest way to summarize it is literally deciding the when, how, who, where, and what. So it's basically the 4W and 1H. So I'll go through each of them one by one. When are you planning to go? So that's the first one. Uh, Basically, it's not just the day, not just whether you're going on weekend or weekday, but also the time, whether it's the morning, afternoon, evening, night. I don't know what time. So this is because the time actually affects your experience at whatever location that you go to. I mean, if you're free on both Thursday and Friday, why go on Friday when you can go on Thursday and avoid the crowds? And if you're able to go at an off-peak hour, why go at the peak hour? So apart from off-peak and peak, you also have to consider the opening hours because sometimes if you go there a little bit too late, you don't have enough time to spend in the location. Or maybe your other schedules and plans, if you're a very busy person, then in the end, it's just whatever free time that you have that you're going to use for doing this particular activity. You also have to consider the transportation crowds. Basically, it's not just the crowd at the location, but also the crowd in the MRT. Or if you're using a car, then I guess it doesn't matter to you. Huh. And basically, whether everyone is free, because I'm pretty sure people like to go with at least one or two other people. So you have to make sure that everyone is free. And whether you have a fixed amount of time or no specific end time. So what this means is like there's a difference between, for example, having a fixed amount of time, which is to say you go for an escape room and that is 1 hour, and after the escape room you're just going to go back home. That if that's your plan, then it is a fixed amount of time. It is very easy to plan and do. But if you are just going for a shopping trip, you have no idea when it will end. It may literally take like 15 minutes or it may take like 3 hours, who knows. So in that scenario, you need to plan for enough, time, uh, leeway, in the sense enough buffer time, so that you don't end up ending it really late. And yeah, there's a lot of other considerations that you may personally have with regard to the time. So do consider the timing carefully enough and make sure everyone comes on time, because that's another important thing. If let's say you plan the thing at 4 p.m. and then everyone comes at 6 p.m., then you literally wasted 2 hours waiting. But yeah, I'm kidding that you must ensure that everyone must come at 4 o'clock, because we all know that people can't really do that to some extent. Even if they could do it, it's not like everyone will do it. So you do have to put in some buffer time for that as well. So that is like one of the other things that you have to consider when deciding your time. So next will be the how. Well, how here refers to how you will get to the location, how you will pay for the activities, how will you mitigate any weird situations or emergencies and stuff like that, and more. So it depends on what your activity is, because the how could be literally anyhow. And that wasn't a pun, that's just me saying weird things. Okay, so like for example, if you're going to a movie, maybe you might plan how you want to, like how do you want to enjoy the movie? Like, do you want to buy stuff, buy some snacks there and then enjoy the movie, or do you want to just go there as soon as you arrive or something like that? Or like how are you getting there, which is the transportation part, and how are you paying for the movie? Will you do it beforehand, like, pre-book, or will you go there and buy the tickets on the spot and things like that? So it really depends on what you're doing and who you're doing it with, and many other factors as well that may affect your plan in various ways. And by the weird stuff, it can be as simple as, if it rains, how are you gonna manage that? Do you have a plan B to go somewhere else? Or do you have umbrellas ready to just shield yourself from the rain? Or it could be something that's really drastic, like if some serious medical emergency suddenly happens, how will you mitigate it? Of course, most people don't think about that, because why? But I think at the same time, you don't really have to think about it super deeply, because you probably already know how to mitigate it by, because the school teaches us stuff like emergency preparedness and stuff like that. So hopefully you know how to do it. So, so considering the how will allow you to plan the route so that you don't waste time or take a very crowded route to the location, and also prepare for things like rain and emergencies and stuff like that. Okay, next, the who. Well, this is pretty obvious. Who are you going with? Because this can influence the activities you can do and the places you can go. You may need to cater to certain needs, either dietary, phobias, physical weaknesses, germaphobes, people who need to be near a toilet or aircon or something, I don't know. And since it's a time where social distancing is good, try to keep to 5 people max. By the way, if you're watching this after the pandemic, well, just ignore this. I honestly don't care how many people you go with. Next, the where. Of course, this will probably be decided by everyone together. So that's why the who is important. Once you know who you're going with, it's good to discuss with them. So you discuss with your friends or your family or whoever it is you're going with, you can decide where to go. So the location can be chosen based on the activities you'll be doing, the weather forecast. If it's rainy, you don't go to outdoor location. The time, if it's like morning, some places are open. If it's evening, some places are open, or some places are better to go in the evening and things like that. And the number of people. So if you have a lot of people and you want to make sure you split everyone into groups of 5, then it's better to go to an open location where there's enough space for that. And if you have a small number of people, then even a indoor location is perfect enough, perfectly fine in the sense. The proximity of location, because I know there are some people who don't like traveling across the island just to go for a day out. They'd rather go somewhere a little bit nearer, and etc. etc. So do choose a good location. Finally, the what. What will you be doing at a specified time at a specified location? And this is also what it will be discussed by the people you're going with. As soon as you open your WhatsApp group, you immediately will get that suggestion for what you're gonna do. So in a way, the where and the what will come together, because usually there are some activities that can only be done at certain places, and therefore they usually get discussed together. And since this is the first thing that comes up in your group discussion, it's good to quickly come to a conclusion on it, and also come up with your plan B if needed, because as I said, how are you going to mitigate any particular emergencies or sudden weird stuff going on? And yeah, that's basically it. That covered most of what I wanted to say for this prequel, because that's like the planning part. So you might be wondering, why do I even need a travel series? Well, the travel series will cover how to do this planning. It's not just about asking yourself these questions, but what are the skills and the techniques that you can use, for the applications that you can use to help you plan your trip and things like that. So that's like the more technical aspect of the traveling, I guess. So the second part of traveling is, of course, the actual day, the actual traveling, because isn't that what everyone wants to do? So on the actual day, make sure everyone is ready. Make sure that if there's anyone who's sick or suddenly not free, just account for it so that you don't end up wasting time waiting for someone who's not going to come. Or if, let's say, you need enough people to do a certain activity, you can cancel the activity if needed. If someone is not free or if too many people are not free. And ensure that everyone is prepared for the day with adequate money. At least get enough money, because we can actually buy things very easily around here. But if you're going somewhere where you can't really buy stuff, then make sure that they bring what they need to bring for the day if you're going hiking and stuff. And I guess this part shouldn't be that hard to do, because everyone has like WhatsApp and some people have Telegram as well, so this shouldn't be too hard. So then decide the meeting point. I guess you should have probably done this earlier itself, but usually you only do it on the actual day because otherwise people will forget where the meeting point is. So choose a distinguishable landmark, preferably. Don't just say, oh, let's meet at this lamppost at whatever road. Maybe use a MRT exit, because everyone does that every time and it seems to work. But do specify the exit. You don't want to be saying, oh, let's go to this MRT, and then someone goes to exit B and someone else goes to exit H or something. I don't think you want that situation. Or a building that's easy to find. But the thing is, sometimes there are quite a few buildings like shopping malls that have multiple exit entrances. So you might want to specify which entrance it is, or if it's a building with only one entrance, then you can easily say that building's entrance. But if it's one with many entrances, either say which, maybe if it's connected to a certain MRT exit, you can say that. Or if you have a very specific shop that everyone knows where it is, you can tell that shop. So yeah, that's the preferable meeting point that you can use. So once someone is actually at the meeting point and there's no one else there, they should message everyone that they're here. So that if, let's say, there's already people at the real meeting point and this person actually went to the wrong location, then they can find out immediately and quickly resolve it before anything funny happens. And of course, do maintain social distancing. So don't like stand right outside the fare gate. Stand somewhere a little bit further down, and maybe use a building instead of MRT exit if you want. So afterwards, go and enjoy your little outing after everyone comes, and hope that the travel bubble becomes a thing soon. If any emergency occurs, because that can happen sometimes, be aware of what you need to do. Preferably know where the nearest shops or hospitals or whatever things that you may need so that you can actually get the relevant supplies quickly. Or you can maybe just carry some first aid if you're like hiking or something and you can't really go to a shop anytime soon. So at the end of the trip, make sure to get some feedback. And no, you don't need Google Forms for this. Just ask them in the group itself. Like, it doesn't have to be super formal. Just be casual about it. Just ask them, okay, how was the trip? Did you enjoy it? And then if someone has any concerns or something that they feel like you should change, then you can use that to improve your next outing. So like everything else in life, practice makes perfect. So I mean, that doesn't mean you should just keep going on outings and not do anything else, but every time that you do a planning, it's good to get some feedback, either through yourself, that even you might feel certain things are wrong or some things that didn't go as well as you hoped, or you can just get feedback from other people who experience your planning or experience the trip. Yeah, I hope you find this video useful. I'm not sure if people actually seriously plan their trips, locally at least, so I'm here to help you with that, I guess. And if you'd like to know more trip advice, or if you think I should actually do the travel series earlier, like in December itself, then you can like PM me or something and give me a good reason why I should do that. But I'll be honest here, I still haven't recorded the travel series. But that's not the reason why I'm postponing it, but really because I feel like it is not very helpful to post a series where people may not find much use out of. So maybe if in January there might be some people who are actually free in January, and you wanna plan a trip, then I can post it in that time instead. Although I'm not sure where you can really go. Maybe like Taiwan or something. Oh. Anyways, um, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please press the like button and subscribe. And remember to stay safe and enjoy your holiday if you're actually having a holiday. If you're not having much of a holiday, then sorry. I hope it goes well. Yeah. Enjoy your December. And with that, I would like to say thank you and bye.